Okay, so you should have watched the previous video where I talked about, writing the distribution shape in the discussion section. But I did that all in Microsoft Word. And so here it is in Google Docs. This is step 12. So the discussion section. So adding the histograms with the measures of center kind of overlaid over them. And, the way that Microsoft Excel and Google Sheets outputs histograms, as well as how you kind of control Microsoft PowerPoint versus Google Slides is different. So all of this is essentially the same. I believe in my Google Docs version of this report, I had to kind of label my figures a little differently, but everything else is the same. This part, I copied in from the results or the discussion up above. So that's kind of where I got that part. But what I'm going to show you is how to format this figure in Google Slides versus how I show doing it in Microsoft PowerPoint. So the first thing that's going to be a little bit different is previously I put out a video on how to make illustrations in Google Slides. And we formatted these slides to be 3 inches wide and 4 inches tall. But we need to reformat the size of the slides to be different. So we need to create a new Google Slides file with different slide sizes. So in this one that you've already created with your box plots, you can just click File, make a copy of the entire presentation, and just call this one Report Illustrations 6x4. Okay, so we're going to end up reformatting it to that size and click Make a Copy. Now I've done that already. All right, and so this is that Report Illustrations 6x4. But yours will not be formatted 6 inches by 4 inches tall. It'll still be 3 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So in order to change that, you can go to File and then go to, let's see, it isn't File. Go here. I thought it was in File. Import Slides. It's the details. Here we go. Sorry. So it is in the File menu, but you go down to Page Setup, and it'll probably say 3x4. So just to change the 3 to a 6. So it's 6 inches by 4 inches, and hit Apply, and it'll change the size. After it changes the size, you can delete, those pictures that you made previously, those box plot. And so you'll have some blank slides to work with. If you just deleted the slides, remember you can insert a new slide and it'll be blank. And I want to delete these preset boxes that they've got there. So now I've got a blank slide to work from. So the first slide we're going to make is going to be this one, which is of my height random variable. And we're going to add these 3 labels, these 3 arrows, and this dashed line to kind of show the pattern. So the first thing to do is to insert our picture. So you should have exported this as a JPEG previously. So we're going to import an image, upload from computer, and let's see here. I have to go to a different place for that. All right, so the one I want is the 16 class height. Okay, yours might be named differently. These are the same. You just use that one. Okay. So now I've imported this picture of my histogram. Now I need to add arrows and I need to add these labels. So to add the arrows, we can just go up to our drawing tools up here and we can click arrow. And you can draw a downwards arrow. And then if you hold shift, that allows you to kind of snap to various angles. And one of the angles is just a straight vertical angle. So now I'll let go. And so it's given me an arrow there. Let me make sure that it's black. Right now it's got it as dark gray. So now it's black. And let's make it maybe 3 is too much. How about 2 pixels thick? Let's make this a little bit longer so we can see that arrow a little bit better. All right, that works. So I'm going to put this off to the side for a minute. And now let's add mode, median, and mean. So you can use this tool to insert a text box. And so I've got mode. And let's see, I'm going to want to put a value in there, but I'll put that in last. And let's maybe format this and we'll make copies of it. So here we've got mode. Let's see, the size, we don't have anything to change on the size. Position, we don't want to change the position. Text fitting, take the padding off. So take the bottom and the top padding off. You can see it makes this a little bit smaller. Can also turn off the padding on the left and the padding on the right. So make that all 0. And let's see, what's the other thing we need to do? We also need to fill this white. So right now the background is transparent, which is why we have this grid line that we can see. We want to make sure the grid line is off. So under fill color, change that to white. Okay, so now that background line is not going to interrupt anything. And let's see, this was 108.3. So put 108.3. Okay, your numbers will be different, but that's what mine is. Okay, so now I'm just going to hit Control C for copy, Control V for paste. And this one I'm going to call the median. And I think for me, that was 115. And then I've got the mean. So copy, paste. The mean, I think that was 123.7. So I'm going to put 123.7. Okay. And now I'm just kind of eyeballing these arrows. So the first arrow I want to put at around 108, which is going to be somewhere right about here. Okay, that's just below 112. And if I hold down the, see, I think it's the control key, or is it the shift key? I think it's the control key. And drag this arrow. As soon as I let go, it makes a copy of that arrow. And I'm going to put that at 115, so that'll be just past 112. So something like that. And I'm going to get another arrow, hold down the control key, click and drag with the mouse. And I want to put this at 123.7, yeah, which might be somewhere right about there. It's below 138 and above 112. I'm using arrow keys to move that. So I've got my 3 arrows that represent the mode and the median and mean. Oops. Move the mean down a little bit. That's too much. So if I hold the shift key down and I move the up and down arrows, it lets me move things in smaller increments. Okay, I'm going to move this down, shift key, down arrow. Okay, that looks pretty good. So this is my mode, this is my median, and this is my mean. All right, now what we want to do is we want to put in this curved line that kind of represents the shape of the histogram. And again, you can have software programs kind of make this for you, but we're just eyeballing it. So we're just kind of do it the best we can by drawing it. So in order to draw the line, you're going to go here with select line, and you want to choose a curve. And this is where we're going to want to start the line here at the top of this first class. So I'm going to left click once. And now you can see it's kind of tethering a line to my cursor. So now I'm going to go to about here, the center of this class, and click again. And then I'm going to go maybe to about here. This is going to be my third point, and I'll left click here. And I'm going to come out to here and left click again. And actually what I should have done, let's see here. I should have double clicked there. So let me, I think if I hit escape, okay, let me start that again. So I'm going to draw a curve. So start here, second point there, third point there. Now the last point, what I should have said is you double click. So if I double click, that ends it. Okay, and so this point, I've been telling you to not use any colors, but I'm afraid if we use black, it's going to be hard to kind of see this line versus everything else. So go ahead and make it dark red. And let's make this 4 pixels. And we'll make this a dashed line. So if this ends up making this dark red color kind of like a dark gray, the dark gray may show here. So that's pretty much it. Now, if this line ends up coming down below your axis like this, what you can do is if you right click on the line, you can choose edit points. And you'll see now you can edit those points that you put down to define the line. So if I put it over this point, I can kind of drag this around. And if I drag it around, you see how it changes, you know, that aspect of the line. I can kind of drag it to maybe bring that line up a little bit more and still be kind of true to the shape that I'm trying to represent. Okay. And remember, Google Slides doesn't allow you to just export objects that are grouped together. Instead, Google Slides exports the entire slide. So that's why we needed to format the slide to be 6 inches wide and 4 inches tall. So at this point, when you're done, you just go to File, Download, and you download it as a JPEG. And it's just automatically going to put it in your downloads directory. But you can rename it to be something that you'll remember what this is. And then you can import that into your document. So, and you can just import that in here. If you don't remember, you know, if you want to create this table with 4 columns or 2 columns and 2 rows, you know, you just go to Insert, Table, 2 columns, 2 rows. And then to import this picture, you just go to Insert, Image, Upload from Computer. It's not showing this anymore. Okay. So you go to Insert, Image, Upload from Computer. Then you can choose the one that you just made. And, oh, delete that. I have to make sure that I click in this cell. So Insert, Image, Upload from Computer, choose that. And I think it automatically fits it to that cell. And then once I make the other one, I can put Insert, Image, Upload from Computer. And if you have another random variable like I do, you can put the other image next to it, and then put your captions. And then that's how you make this figure table, okay, with the captions down below. Okay, so you just undo all that. Right. So that's how you can, kind of do the same kind of illustrations that I showed in the other video with Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint. But this shows how you could make those figures in Google Slides.